Hey watch fans, we got a new G-Shock release. Now I'm not a fan of every single G-Shock that G-Shock comes out with, but I really like this new futuristic fluorescent colorways that they added to 4 different G-Shock models. You can see it's called here G-Shock Multi Fluroescent over here on the banner for the G-Shock page. Now I just got an email about this, and you want to make sure you get on the G-Shock newsletter so you don't miss these new releases. Sometimes they do seem to sell out. They had the recycled resin band one with the different recycled kind of colors on them. They came out recently and it seems like it sold out super fast and they restocked it. So maybe that's the case, but you never know if maybe there's going to be something really hot, limited edition or something that is going to sell out. But anyways, we got the Multi Fluorescent. I really like these. These have a kind of a Blade Runner kind of vibe to me, is what it makes me think of with this city horizon, this kind of futuristic city horizon behind it. I really, really like these. Now I'm going to show a couple of other watches that these compare to that I don't like as much. There's a virtual reality edition watches, and they have this RGB watch that came out recently, which now you can only get on the sale page. So I'm guessing that they're not selling very well, and they kind of put them on the sale. I thought those were cool. We'll look at those too. But these are the multi-fluorescent ones. I do really like these because they're not too kind of RGB or kind of pastel colory. They have a little bit of sort of harder colors in there that I think is really nice and just kind of makes it a little bit more of a wide appeal watch, especially this one here, this Casio that we're going to look at. You can see there's not too many really bright light colors in that. And I think that's kind of nice. I'm going to just read this real quick to you. We got bold black meets vibrant color in these tough G-Shock watches with fluorescent accents. The matte black bezel and band contrast stylishly with touches of vivid blue, pink, and yellow on the hands, hours, and dial markers, transporting you to a virtual world. I really like that. Having a little bit of a sci-fi kind of future city aesthetic to these. Playful and bold, these designs will crush in any fashion scene. Great marketing speak there. You got 4 different models here. Now I'm partial to this one here, the classic Casio. I like this one a little bit more because the lighter, kind of more fluorescent colors are not as dominant. You got this red, green, yellow that kind of stand out a little bit more. That's just something I like a little bit better because I have kind of, I guess, not as much of a bright or pastel kind of colorway to my own kind of personal style. These over here, seems you see we got a pink hand here and bigger pink hand here. These are a little bit brighter, I think, than that one. These 3 kind of look more similar to me versus this one. It's got with that very vivid red there that sticks out, and then just a little bit of pink up at the top there. Just depends on what you like. You might like a more kind of pastel or lighter colors with yours. Now let me tell you the 2 that stand out really for me. This is just my personal taste, my just subjective opinion. You know, it just depends on which ones you like. But I really like this. I don't have the wrist size for this, I don't think. I was looking at these. I forget the name. What is the name of this one? This is the GX56. I've seen in some YouTube videos they call this the King, right? The G-Shock King. It's like one of the biggest G-Shocks, if not the biggest G-Shock you can get. It is absolutely huge. Just a lot of durability to this one. But I like the look of this one. If you want just the biggest watch you can get, this is an awesome G-Shock. And this one it's neat because it's got the pink shock absorber text there. So it's kind of a, it's a more kind of pastel, lighter color kind of version of this otherwise very, I would say, very big, masculine, sporty watch. Now for me, the pick is going to be right here, the classic Casio. I really like this one. And the reason is that the pinks here, and this is just personal opinion, are just more subtle. I like that they're there. You have the fluorescent vibes to it, but you have this red, green, and these yellow, the marker here plus the Bluetooth, are really the kind of the dominant pieces to my eyes, and then this kind of green and black backdrop. Only a touch of the pink there, just enough. And I think that is just the winner for me. I think this is going to be a little bit more mass appealing, more wide appealing, and it's going to go with a lot more outfits if you're not sort of a brighter, kind of more tropical clothing kind of person. But I love the Blade Runner kind of vibe to it, the futuristic vibe. And let me show you real quick 2 of the G-Shocks that I think these compare to that I just don't really care for. So this is actually a quite inexpensive watch, and I do really like this one. This is the virtual reality watch. I think this is really cool. It was just a little bit too, it reminds me of this laser tag, I think laser tag X worn and wound kind of watch or whatever kind of, there's an automatic watch recently that is a limited edition laser tag one. And that's the vibes I get. This is like a laser tag arena, very, very kind of neon fluorescent, even on the hands and everything. Now the one we just looked at, remember they had that red, green, and yellow. It wasn't quite as fluorescent. It had a touch to it, but this is very, very dominant with that theme. And I think it's just a little bit too much for me. I love the watch on its own. And I mean, if this is something that's part of your style and you can rock this style and you know how to do that, then that's awesome. I think this is a really cool watch. It's only 99 bucks, which is really cool. We got to go back and double check that. I forgot what the pricing on that other one was. But you see, like when they do the model pictures, like I just can't pull this off. This is just not my aesthetic. I'm very kind of neutral a lot of times in my own personal outfit, so I like something that's going to be a little bit easier to pull off in that regard. Always check the outlet store and the sale items. They have different models here. They are not on the main page with the full price stuff. So if you go over here and you look at the G-Shocks, here it is. I love this model, man. This is so cool. Again, it's like the one we just looked at. It's just going to be too much for me to really be able to pull off a lot of the time. I just kind of give you an example. I'm wearing a Casio Edifice, so you got the kind of green and black there. You know, just something kind of more, not as bright, I guess. For me, if I want to have a little brightness on the watch, I like it to be kind of minimal. But see how much is going on here? This is the RGB watch here, and you can see this 20% off, $88. If this is, again, something you can pull off, this is going to be a really, really cool watch. Especially, you know, I play video games. I'm geeky, I'm nerdy and stuff. I just don't have that kind of, you know, I'm not an RGB kind of aesthetic. You know, I like the sort of plain Casio digital watches. I have the Tissot digital PRX. You know, they're more my speed. You know, I grew up with Super Nintendo, Nintendo 64, a little bit simpler kind of digital aesthetic. This one is really wild. It's that, you know, that more modern, with the young kids, the RGB everything, you know, kind of aesthetic to it. It's awesome, you know, if that is your style, and especially if you're streaming or something, you know, you get the RGB setup. This is just the perfect watch, I think, to go with that. So I think it's really cool. Only 88 bucks right now if you want to go check that out over on the sale website. Let's go back again to this one. Just do a quick price check, because I forgot to mention that here. 150 bucks. So it's actually more expensive. I like it. I feel like this is something, again, I can pull off. I've got the more sort of neutral kind of aesthetic, I guess you would call it. And just enough here to not be overwhelming here with the brighter colors for me. I really like it. What do you all think about this one? How do you think it compares to what they've been doing with these sort of brighter, more fluorescent color schemes? Let me know in the comments below. Like the video, subscribe, and I'll see you in another one very soon. Thank you.